It's me again. Like my little Halloween vibes? Anyway, I like them. So the pumpkin that I carved that you already saw, it rotted already, and I think because of the heat. So I got a little paint set, and I'm going to paint a face on this pumpkin instead of carving it because it's so freaking hot. I live in southern Alabama, by the way, so yeah, it's pretty hot down here. But so yeah, I figured I would do a video and do a little chit chat. And I didn't take any notes, but this video is something that has been on my mind lately, and that I feel like I see a lot of good content on YouTube. And let me just stop myself for a moment and say that those of you who have come over from Instagram and subscribed, I really appreciate it. I know a lot of my content is really esoteric, and like maybe you might not understand some of the things that I'm talking about, but I do appreciate your support because I'm on this YouTube journey and I'm, working on it. This is something that I'm building, and I appreciate the support even if you don't understand it. But today, the video that I'm going to be talking about is not esoteric. This is helpful information for any human being. I want to talk about the importance of being healthy in a relationship. I see a lot of good content on YouTube talking about like narcissists and stuff like that. And yes, there are plenty of narcissists out there, and I feel like narcissists. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of organic portals. See, I always find a way to turn it esoteric. Yes, there's plenty of narcissists in the world, but sometimes I feel like some of them at times of their life are organic portals. And by organic portals, I mean that they are part of the matrix and they allow negative entities, they allow themselves to channel negative entities, because if they're not working on themselves spiritually, if we aren't working on ourselves spiritually, the devil will take shot at people through us. And I can definitely speak from experience because I've been on both sides of the track. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a story time about the time that I got possessed. But for today, I want to talk about the importance of relationship health. For those of you who are with someone who is toxic, you have to get away from them. And for those of you who are single and dating, you need to pay attention to their behaviors, their habits, and the way that they treat people. Pay attention for the red flags. The last relationship that I was in was very short-lived, and it ended abruptly on my behalf because I was seeing red flags that I just couldn't ignore. I've always ignored these red flags in the past of like narcissistic behavior. And another thing that I want to say is that narcissistic behavior, you have to have a narcissist within yourself to attract one. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning phase is called the love bomb, when they're just completely obsessed with you and giving you all the love you desired and telling you how great you are. It's like the narcissist within you wants to be told how great they are. You know what I mean? So when people are just coming in too hot like that, you better watch out. And that's one thing that this ex that I'm talking about would do. He would just go on and on and on telling me how great I am. And yeah, it's nice in the beginning, but then after a while, you're kind of like, okay, that's enough. Like, stop. Like, I don't know if it's like, if he's trying to like feed my ego or like overcompensate for some lack that he may feel. I don't know. But if you notice, and not just with complimenting, but anyone's behavior, if you notice it bothering you or it doesn't sit right, don't ignore it. if someone's energies are not resonating with you, if they rub you the wrong way, it's for a reason. You know, your intuition is there to guide you. It's a compass. And if it doesn't feel right, you probably shouldn't be doing it. I just feel personally like it's important for me to be whole and complete on my own, financially stable, career stable, mentally and physically stable before I can pursue any type of relationship. And this last one that I was in showed me that. It was actually my shaman who introduced me to toad venom. But I don't know. I just thought that whenever I did the toad venom, I thought that we were incarnated here to open up a healing retreat. The two of us were our shamans, and that we were supposed to have a healing retreat. And he was totally cool with it. He was actually doing the research to make it happen. And I was just seeing so many red flags in his behavior patterns and the way that I was feeling that I had to exit stage left. End scene. No, I mean, I laugh about it now, but it was actually really painful to, break someone's heart like that. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I also don't want to hurt myself, and I don't want to allow anyone to drag me down with their addictions and their bad habits and toxic ways. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at anyone because I have been that toxic person, and I've worked hard to become stable, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to continue to be stable. I don't know if I like those eyes. But yeah. I'm just so protective over my energy at this point. I'm just like, man, I'll just hang out here with my mom and learn more about astrology and advance in meditation. Like, I would rather not have any friends or anyone in my life, at least for this time, for this chapter. I would rather be alone than have someone who's toxic or whose behavior is bothering me or who I feel like this isn't right. I can't continue down that path of destruction. And I, for so long, ignored my intuition and I ignored what I knew was right and I just did whatever, and I can't do it any longer, Yes, I do. I don't want to give him like a red nose. But yeah, I feel like organic portals. So when people aren't working on themselves and they're just indulging in addictions, it's like, whenever you black out when you're drinking and you do something stupid, it's like that. Like something bad happens. And I've seen multiple, for me in particular, multiple boyfriends with personality disorders and like schizophrenic tendencies of paranoia and delusions. It's a difficult journey when you don't know your self-worth and you don't have standards in the way that you allow people to treat you. For so long, I pursued like terrible men, terrible abusive men. I was so obsessed. I was so obsessed with them. Like, oh, I just love them so much. I would have done anything for them. So having debilitated Venus, which is in Virgo, can cause you to have behaviors such as this. And also, if someone's Rahu or North Node of their moon, or someone's North Node of the moon is over your moon, that malefic energy will snatch your mind and cause you to be obsessive. So I've suffered from both. I realize the weaknesses of my birth chart. I know things that I need to work on. I know how I can lose myself in a relationship and trying to serve someone who is not good for me. This is something that I have to realize and understand and overcome and do the inner work so that I can seek someone out who is going to be able to establish and build a healthy life with me. These are things that it's not the end of the world when you find out you have a debilitated planet or a difficult birth chart. It's just things that you have to work on and overcome. You got that debilitation or that difficult placement for a reason, and so you're here to evolve and grow through it and to understand it and overcome it. Yeah. I'm gonna refill my story on the prison break, but I was so obsessed with one of my boyfriends that I broke him out of prison, and he got out and we got away. I ended up going to prison for it, but that just shows how codependent and eager I was to prove my love. Maybe I should do a bigger face. But yeah, that was all that mattered to me, and I didn't understand the importance of getting financially stable and getting my career in line. I just supplied my addictions and obsessed with my boyfriends. Hold on, let me go get some water to dip this brush in because I'm going to have to use the same brush. So yeah, if someone's super obsessive, especially in the beginning, get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, I guess this does have a brush. Also, if you catch them, you got to pay attention to how they're treating others. Because for me personally, I would think, oh, well, I'm special because he loves me. So I would see him treating other people poorly and think that I was special and he wasn't going to do that to me. Well, he did. Got to pay attention. Pay attention to how they're treating people. Watch their behavior. This is a good idea. Then, also, I would find myself in a situation where I would have to constantly defend myself. I would be accused of cheating and lying and looking at this guy or talking to that guy, and I would constantly defend. It was like I was at a war, You're not supposed to be at war in your own home. That's your sanctuary. That's your peace. That's your solitude. That's where you go to relax. Shouldn't be somewhere that you have to fight all the time. Now, I understand sometimes you're going to have disagreements, but you can work it out in in a mature, civilized way, you know? It doesn't have to be a battle. Let's see. I'll do a red nose. Don't ask me why, I just wanted to be a red nose, okay? I don't even know if it's going to show up. Maybe I'll do like a black outline. Yes, I've had many, many failed relationships, and I'm just kind of like doing an inventory and figuring out where I went wrong and trying to heal myself from the trauma. Maybe I should do white and then red on top of the white. Oh, damn, that whiteout looks good, don't it? Let's see. Yeah, I would be having to defend myself constantly. And I would be like scared to get on social media because of what they were going to say next. Turns out the whole time they were the one that was doing the cheating. And it's funny to me when they all come back asking for another chance, you know? Hate to say it, but I feel a little bit victorious when that happens. Like, oh, you still want me? Oh, okay. So yeah, you gotta pay attention to their behavior and make sure they have integrity. Make sure they do the right thing. Treat people with kindness. One time I was riding in a car with this girl I used to work with, and she had this guy that she was dating in the passenger seat. And he came in from the gas station. He was young too. He was like early 20s, and he was like laughing and like showing us the candy bar he just stole. Like he done got away with something, and he was slick. And I didn't say anything to him because it's none of my business. But I was thinking in my head, like, you didn't get away with anything. Well, you got a lot to learn. That's what I was thinking. You never really get away with anything. You're going to have to pay. If not in this life, then the next life. So people who do things like that, like, it just shows you where they're at on their level of their journey. On their level of learning lessons. We all have lessons to learn. I'm just saying. You know, I'm trying to give these like helpful hints, helpful tips. And another thing with this last relationship that I was in, and this is what I decided, that your presence has to be better than my solitude in order to be a part of my life. If your presence is in any way like lowering my vibe or making me feel less good than what I felt alone, then you gotta go. Gotta go. Oh, a good point that I wanted to make. So the reason that I felt okay, so I had someone on Instagram recently tell me that he said, I have a question about your twin flame video, and I'm just curious because I think this girl is my twin flame. So yeah, I did think that I met my twin flame, and I've thought that in the past before. Maybe I'm just like a hopeless romantic, you know, but so the reason that I thought he was my twin flame is because our first interaction ever, he read my mind. And I was like, oh, we're connected telepathically. Oh my God, it's him, finally. No. Remember that just because someone has spiritual gifts doesn't make them a good person, okay? Just because they can read your mind does not mean they're a good person for you to be with. You need to pay attention. Pay attention. Like the teacher in class. Pay attention. Pay attention. He's probably going to be watching this too. I can't stop myself, y'all. I gotta let you in on the tea. I gotta let you in on the juice. Okay. So this last guy that I thought was my twin flame oh my God, y'all, I was ready to have his kids. I was so in love. And there's many things that happened that I won't even speak on because I just don't want anyone to look at him differently, and I don't want to put the darkness out there. Okay, he was being an organic portal. But the things that he did while he was in his regular human personality. One time I was still at work and he arrived here at my house to visit me. And I had fell asleep the night before and I was asleep and missed his phone call. And he had the nerve to ask my mom before I came home. He said, if she wasn't here last night, you would tell me, right? So the fact that he doesn't believe me or trust me that I'm at my house when I tell him I'm at my house, red flag. So if you are distrustful, then you must be untrustworthy, I'm thinking. So I broke up with him a few months ago, and just recently he sent me the link to a song. And I was just like, oh, no, nope, not gonna happen. You are not allowed to be in my energy or in my vibration if you're a toxic person. You got too many red flags going. I'm sick of it. I ain't got time for it. I have a better time by myself than I do with you. You know? Know your worth. Know what you're willing to put up with. Know what you deserve. You know? So, of course, just because I'm not hustling anymore doesn't mean some of my friends aren't still hustling. So I do have friends from home that are drug dealers. And one of my friends in particular, this ex-boyfriend, was trying to get illicit drugs from her behind my back, and he told her, don't tell Danica. Okay, so this guy is someone that I just met, right? Why would you go to my best friend and get the number one drug that I hate? Try to get the number one drug that I hate. And then tell my best friend not to tell her best friend that you're trying to do something behind her back. Like, okay, first of all, it's bad enough that you're trying to get drugs. But second of all, like, is he just slow? Is he dumb? Is he just so blinded by his addiction that he's not thinking straight? I don't know, but definitely, I mean, trying to get the drugs combined with telling my best friend not to tell her best friend that he was doing something shady. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Straight up. I ain't got time for that shit, and I know he's watching now. Yeah, you're fucking full of shit. Don't fucking text me. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't got time for that. Let me just rant a little bit because that's how serious I am. I have worked so hard to get where I'm at, and you're not about to fuck it up with your bad energy. Just because someone has gifts doesn't mean they're a good person. So just because you're having visions of someone or dreaming of someone doesn't mean they're the one you're supposed to be with. You need to use your own discernment. Stop being so romantic. Use your discernment. So this paint that I'm putting on top, it's kind of like dry and splotchy. Maybe it's watercolors. No, I don't think that's watercolors. Who knows? But yeah, y'all, I had to get away from him. But the failure of that relationship did teach me a lot. It taught me that I am emotionally unavailable. Like, I need to get my shit together before I date someone. So I've had a couple of, like, really nice, good-looking, wealthy men trying to fly me out where they're at and meet me, and I'm just like, listen, it's nothing personal. Like, I'm not emotionally available. I need to focus on finance and career. I don't have time to come out and where you're at and meet you. I don't have the energy to give. You know what I mean? Super focused right now. I need to get my coins. Sorry. So this paint is not really working out the way that I thought that it would. But it's really cute, right? I'm about done, y'all. I'm hot. So yeah, the little red flags that I was seeing, like he would get like sloppy drunk. And I was just kind of like, whatever. And I kind of started drinking again. Actually, yeah, dating him made me start drinking again. Or I chose to start drinking again dating him. Now, I am having a little bit of wine, which I've only had about this much. And I think I'm about done. I'm about to go put it back in the refrigerator. I just need a break from alcohol sometimes, you know? Nothing wrong with that. I'm a lightweight, man. I filled this thing up to drink while I was painting and was kind of over it. Yeah, this paint's not really working out too well, though. Maybe I could get a Sharpie. I'll be right back. Guess what I found out about his new girlfriend? Oh, by the way, yes, he already has a new live-in girlfriend. That's what I found out. She stabbed him. Well, I guess he found someone just as toxic as his ass. Who knows what happened? Who fucking knows? Oh, and by the way, when you break up with someone, don't go around snooping and asking about them. The only reason I found out is because he's a friend of the family. I don't want to know. When you break up with someone, you broke up. Like, let it go, you know? Let it go. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If not, keep it moving. There's billions of other fish in the sea. Billions. Okay, now this Sharpie is removing the whiteout. This is not going as smooth as I planned. But hopefully I'm getting a good message in, you know what I mean? These things are important. We have to be vigilant, you know, with our energy. Protect it. And it's not just your own habits and actions that are affecting your energy. It's the people you're surrounding yourself with. So be alone if you need to and figure out who you are. Figure out what you want. Work on yourself. This was a fail. Maybe I'll fix it tomorrow. So I just wanted to redeem my pumpkin and correct myself on my video because I feel like, damn, now the sun's coming out. I feel like I was too harsh. I can't see myself. Can you see me? I feel like I was too harsh in my video, and in my defense, the reason that I was so harsh is because, and this is actually face paint that I got for my Halloween costume, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it on a pumpkin. But the reason that I was so harsh is because, you know, the last relationship that I was in before this last one was very abusive and destructive. and toxic. And so I had this idea of how I was going to move in relationships. And I had plans with this man, and I had this huge, like, idea of who and what he was to me. And, it turned out not to be the case. And so I hadn't slept with anyone in like a year and a half. And so finally, whenever, and I told myself that the next man that I sleep with, I'm settling down with. I want to have a family. I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to start a life with someone. So you can imagine my upset at the way things ended up. And so I guess it's my fault for sleeping with him so soon, but you just have to learn your lessons and correct yourself, just like I'm correcting myself right now. So the reason that I was so harsh and upset in the video talking about him is because I allowed him in. I allowed him into my life, and I had plans, future plans with him, and I feel like he snatched them away with his bad energy. But whenever I confronted him about trying to get drugs, he said, "Oh, well, I did that when you dumped me on my head." And the reason that I dumped him is because of the way his energy was. And so it's like, I shouldn't even have to argue with him, but it's like, oh, so you go and get high as soon as shit gets hard? No. How are we supposed to have a life together? How are we supposed to be productive and stable and healthy? I'm all for doing mushrooms and toad venom and elevating your consciousness, but you can't go around doing meth and expect your life to be okay. It's not going to work. Not going to work. So yeah, I let him in my energy field. I let him in my life, and I had future plans with him, and it just kind of like fell apart so quickly. And I felt like I got ripped off. I felt like I wasted my purity on someone who was undeserving of it. So I just wanted to explain why I was so mad in that video and like sounded like such a bitch, because I'm really not a mean person, but he brought it out of me. He really brought it out of me. And I just wanted to clear that up and explain why I was so harsh, So yeah, you have to be protective of your energy and the people that you allow close to you. I guess some people can somewhat keep their shit together while they're doing drugs. I can't. And I don't want to join lives with someone who is doing drugs. I don't want to be in a partnership of life with someone who is destroying their life, with someone whose energy is low vibrational, jealous, controlling, possessive. No, I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than to be with someone like that. And so in order to allow for the evolution of consciousness and the soul to have growth, you have to cut these things out. You have to cut unhealthy people out, especially those that are closest to you. You have to be vigilant and protective over your energy. And it's okay if you screw up and fall off and make mistakes. As long as you correct yourself and be aware of the inner dialogue, be aware of the narrative of your life. How's it going? What's going on? You know what I mean? Because nothing is a secret. It's all being recorded and documented, and it's part of your journey. So just protect yourself, protect your energy, and don't put up with any bullshit in relationships. Don't do it. So doesn't it look better? Yeah, I like it. It's cute now. Cutie patootie. I also feel like I was manipulated because of my love for spirituality. I feel like he used he used his ability to read my thoughts to his advantage to manipulate me into being with him. And, yeah, I just felt really I felt like I was a fool, I felt like I just fell for it, and come to find out, he's not this great thing that I thought. And it's no judgment. We're all on a journey. I really can't be mad at him because I've been through terrible addictions and self-destructive, phases in my life. And it reminds me of like Instagram. I've got, a few people like hating on me for the small amount of weights that I'm lifting. And I'm thinking in my head, hey, at least I'm trying, you know? But they're much more advanced than they're working out. So it's like, I don't want them to judge me for lifting small weights. So I really can't judge him for not deciding to live a healthy lifestyle. I really can't be mad at him. I just was super fucking pounced on him because of my energy. You can't fucking interact with me in my day to day when you live like that. And we're talking about kids and moving in together, and you're living like that behind the scenes. Oh, hell no. Nope. Not doing it. Nope. So yeah. Just wanted to clear that up and explain myself for my harsh speech. Don't you know I love you to death? Don't you know I love you to death? You're the most beautiful thing God ever created. Long live the infinite creator.